Krishna Narayana, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha 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 Krishna Narayana, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, 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 Rama, Madana Mohana. Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa Nahi, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestaya Te.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa Nahi, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestaya Te.
Dalawang bagay na gusto kong ipaliwanag at dapat malaman nating maigi. Yung pastimes ni Lord Balaram. Kita niya? Yun yung kagabi na anong nangyari nung battle ng Kurukshetra, si Lord Balaram, hindi siya sumali sa laban. So, nag-travel siya sa holy places. Pag-travel niya sa holy places, napunta siya sa Naimisaranya Forest, isang gubat. Nandun lahat yung saints and sages na makikinig sa isang speaker. Yun na si Romahar Sansuta. Si Romahar Sansuta, disciple siya ni Lord Vyasadeva. Disciple siya ni Lord Vyasadeva. So nung dumating si Lord Balaram, lahat ng mga saintly person lahat yun nandun eh. Mga Brahmana at saintly person, nakita nila si Lord Balaram. Immediately tumayo sila. Nag-offer sila ng obeisances. Pero si Romahar Sansuta nakaupo pa rin sa Byasasan. Yung Byasasan kasi, yun yung seat ni Lord Vyasadeva. So yung spiritual master natin, si Jagad Guru Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa, representative siya ni Lord Vyasadeva. Dahil siya yung nakaupo sa Byasasan. Speaker siya ng Vedas. Nire-represent niya si Lord Vyasadeva. Pero sa case na to, si Romahar Sansuta na disciple ni Lord Vyasadeva, dapat nung dumating si Lord Balaram, tumayo siya, nag-offer din siya ng obeisances. Hindi kailangan yung nakaupo sa Byasasan na pag may mga dumating na individual ay tumayo. Pwede siya mag-offer ng respect na nakaupo. Pero sa case na to, si Lord Krsna, si Lord Balaram, ang nasa Naismiranya Forest at sa lugar kung saan sila magpe-perform ng sacrifice sa pakikinig sa turo ni Lord Vyasadeva. So ang purpose ng pakikinig nila ay para malaman nila ng punong ng yung kaalaman na without a doubt, walang duda kung sino ang Supreme Person. Okay. So yun dapat ang iaano niya, sasalitain niya. Ang nangyari, pagdating ni Lord Balaram, hindi siya tumayo at nandun yung kayabangan niya. Hindi niya nakita. So nangyari, umupo lang siya at nakita ni Lord Balaram yung attitude niya. Yung ugali niya, attitude ba? Batasan. Na arrogant siya, supposedly, dapat siya yung pinaka-humble para salitain yung narinig na kay Lord Vyasadeva. Pero ang malaking doon, sa wimpalad sa kanya ay hindi niya naintindihan yung turo ni Lord Vyasadeva. Kaya hindi siya ang pwedeng mag-represent. Hindi siya pwede ang maging tagapagturo dahil wala siyang kaalaman. Hindi niya nakikita si Krsna, hindi niya nakikita si Lord Balaram. At nandun siya nakaupo with thousands of saintly person. Lahat ng mga saintly person doon, may mga spiritual master yon. May mga spiritual master yon. Siya doon, speaker lang, in-appoint siya na to speak about the Vedas. Para magkaroon ng conclusion, magkaroon ng closure, yung surrender to the Supreme Person in loving devotion. Para talagang without a doubt, marinig nila, then, ang nangyari, sa transcendental science na to, sa history, ang nangyari, si Lord Balaram lumapit sa kanya at kinuha niya yung kusa grass, maliit na grass, parang kugon ba. Tinusok niya si Romaharsan Sutta sa puso. So, namatay si Romaharsan Sutta. So ngayon, nabigla lahat doon dahil ang nangyari kasi, si Romaharsan Sutta, binigyan nila ng boon o kaya grasya ba, na hindi siya makakatikim ng gutom, uhaw, at mahabang buhay para salitain yung turo ni Lord Vyasadeva. So nabigla lahat. Pero ginawa ni Lord Balaram, kasi kailangan i-atone niya yun eh. I-atone, ibig sabihin nun, dahil ginawa niya yun, baka gayahin ng iba. So sabi niya, anong pwede kong gawin para ma-atone? Pero yung mga saintly person na nandun, ayaw din nilang sirain o ihinto yung ginawa ni Lord Balaram. Kasi ang purpose talaga, ang pakay talaga ng Supreme Person, si Lord Krishna, si Lord Balaram, ay pumunta rito para establish yung real religion, which is devotional service to the Supreme Person. To be a devotee of God, to experience harmony with His will, His pleasure. Kaya nung pumunta siya rito, ang instruction niya, just surrender unto me and I'll protect you. Yun ang instruction niya. So si Lord Balaram, lagi siyang nag-a-assist kay Lord Krishna. Nagbibigay ng pleasure kay Lord Krishna. So kung titignan niyo yung pastimes nila, lagi niyang ino-augment o binibigyan ng kaligayahan si Lord Krishna. So habang si Lord Krishna ay nag-enjoy at having pleasure with his devotees and executing yung pagpunta niya rito, siya naman, ina-assist niya si Lord Krishna. So ginawa niya, kinitil niya yung buhay ni Romaharsan Sutta, at ang sabi niya, dahil yung anak, pwede siyang i-represent si Romaharsan. So, in-appoint niya siya ang nag-appoint kay Romaharsan Sutta. Na siya yung nag-appoint sa anak ni Romaharsan Sutta. Hindi kay Romaharsan Sutta. Yung mga nandun, in-appoint nila, binoto nila si Romaharsan Sutta para magsalita. Ngayon, inalis siya sa pwesto na yon ni Lord Balaram at ginawa niya, nilagay niya sa pwesto yung anak para i-represent. Yung anak, who is the representative of Lord Vyasadeva now, given lahat ng binigay sa kanya na biyaya or grasya na matagal na buhay, maging matalino, yung hindi siya makakatikim ng gutom, uhaw, lahat yun ay binigay, siya ang nagkamit para makapagsalita siya ng turo ni Lord Vyasadeva. So dito natin makikita na yung spiritual master, hindi binoboto. Hindi mo pwedeng iboto. Kasi yung guru or spiritual master is a state of consciousness. Pure loving servant of the Supreme Person, pure unalloyed, unflinching faith in rendering service to the Supreme Person. He sees God. Yung speaker who's supposed to speak about God, anong nangyari? Hindi niya nakita si Lord Balaram. So yun yung situation natin ngayon sa material world. Maraming wannabe God, wannabe ba? Imitation God, who are followers of Romaharsan Sutta. Marami. Kasi they don't know God, they don't see God. Kaya sabi ni Lord Krishna, fools deride me when I descend in the human form. Sabi niya, yung mga fools who are ignorant, who have no knowledge about God, deride Him. Kinukutya nila si Lord Krishna. Pero nung nag-appear si Lord Krishna through our study program na narinig natin sa spiritual master natin saka sa parampara, He established Himself as the Supreme Person. Kasi maraming mga so-called wannabe God, nagpo-pose sila as God, representative ng God, na Supreme Person, but they don't see God. So ngayon, ginawa ni Lord Krishna sa Bhagavad Gita para i-define, maging klaro, that is the Supreme Person. He showed Arjuna the universal form. So ngayon, kung may nagpo-post niya na God siya, you ask him, please show us your universal form. So nakakita sa universal form, yung devotee, si Arjuna, nakita niya lahat ng demigods, buong creation, nakita niya, pinakita ni Lord Krishna. Because He's the source of everything. So yun yung isang qualification ng Supreme Person. He can show Himself in action, in words, that He is the Supreme Person. Kaya very important sa buhay natin to find someone who is a bona fide spiritual master. Kasi ang nangyari rito, yung desire to have followers. Gusto nyo magkaroon ng followers ba? Inisip nyo, I'm a devotee, I'm a saintly person, I can enjoy followers. They find, naisip nila, they're so comfortable with so many followers. And followers means, parang asset mo. Marami kang asset na, kasi iba na yung tingin mo eh. You use them, you depend on them, and then, ang nangyari nun, they depend upon you. But you are not God, then what will happen? You have to trick them. You have to trick them. You have to lie. You have to lie. So yung mundo ng ganong relationship is a world of illusion. Kagaya sinasabi nila, God is a mystery. Okay? Why not say directly, I don't know God? Diba? Sabi mo, God is a mystery, you cannot see God. Pero iba yung sinasabi sa Scripture. Sinasabi ni Lord Krishna, para makita mo siya, you must be having this attitude of humility and devotion. Kasi yun lang yung pinaka-relationship mo sa Kanya na transcendental sa three modes of material nature. Yung puso mo in purity in relating to God. So ginawa ni Lord Balaram, kinitil niya yung buhay ni Romarsan Suta at pinalit niya yung anak. Kaya yun yung story nun. So it's a warning din sa lahat ng mga wannabe God, wannabe guru. Ano yung consciousness ng devotee? Na dapat natin makita na dapat yun ang pinaka-ideal natin. Yun yung prayer ni Lord Chaitanya. Fourth prayer, man. Oh my Lord, I have no desire for material wealth. I have no desire to enjoy beautiful women. I have no desire to have numbers of followers of mine. My only desire is to be engaged in your loving service. Yun yung consciousness ng someone who is a pure loving servant of God. Expressed by the Supreme Person Himself. So doon natin makikita kung saan tayo magagabayan. At doon din natin makikita kung hindi natin susundin. Ang dahilan naman kaya hindi natin sinusunod kasi gusto natin ng guru. Parang akala natin comfortable tayo na magagawa natin yung gusto natin. So yung guru parang, may guru rin ako, ilalagay mo yung picture niya sa pitaka. Para kami aso ba? Pero ang katunayan nun, nagagamitan lang kayo. Ginagamit ka niya, ginagamit mo rin siya. Yun yung dapat mabantayan natin sa sarili natin. Intindihan niya? So, anong nangyari nun? Nag-atone siya. Alam niyo yung atone? Parang dahil sa ginawa niya na yun, hingi ng mga atone please, para hindi kagayahin ng mga ng ordinary people. So ginawa niya, may demon doon, sabi niya may demon na pumunta doon, sinisira yung place, walang ginawa kundi sirain, i-pollute. He comes when it's dark, yung madilim, pupunta siya at yung lugar ng holy places bigla na lang dudumi. Ihian niya, dudumihan niya, sirain niya yung mga lugar na magaganda, mga garden, ganon. So, ginawa ni Lord Balaram, pinatay niya yung demon na yun. So, ang purpose ni Lord Balaram is to assist and give pleasure to Lord Krishna. So, ngayon, kaya ko sinabi ito sa inyo kasi dapat guided tayo ng someone who is non-different from Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram. So babasahin ko ngayon isang turo rito na connected sa practical na buhay natin. So one time may isang priest nakausap ni His Divine Grace si Bhaktivedanta Swami. Attracted siya sa holy names. Sabi niya, I will join you. Sabi ni Bhaktivedanta Swami sa kanya, His Divine Grace, Spiritual Master ni Srila Prabhupada. No, you stay, you do what you're doing and stay where you are. Ang gawin mo lang, you chant the holy names. You don't need to surrender, to follow us. Simply chant the holy names. Karamihan kasi rito, yung desire natin na gusto natin magkaroon ng followers, kasi may mga ganun tao eh. Kaya ang warning ni Lord Balar, ang warning dito, yung mga individual who mislead people. Yung mga, halimbawa, inisip mo, nag-chant ka, devotee ka ni Krishna, pure ka, when you speak, you want people to follow you, you enjoy followers. And then ang nangyayari noon, you mislead them. May mga ganun tao eh, na from the outside, akala nyo devotee ni Lord Krishna. Pero ang ginagawa nila, taliwas sa dapat gawin. Nakapokus sila sa economic development, religiosity, sense gratification, at liberation. Yun ang focus nila. Hindi talaga sila representative ni Lord Balaram. Kasi nga, si Lord Balaram, siya yung epitome ng compassion. Masyado siyang mapagmahal. Like Advaita Acharya, associate ni Lord Nityananda nung pumunta sila rito, which is inseparable, non-different from Krishna, Mahavishnu. Yung concern nila sa atin, they simply love us. Kaya nga, nung nakita niya na ang kulang dito ay si Krishna, ginawa ni Advaita Acharya, in-invite niya si Lord Chaitanya. So dito naman, si Lord Balaram, in-establish niya yung path ng parampara, coming from Lord Vyasadeva, na ang mag-i-speak is someone who is the representative of God. God can appoint, pero tayo hindi natin pwedeng mag-appoint. Saka may danger dito eh, may danger. Yung isang person, pwede ngayon, kaaya-aya yung buhay mo, nag-chant ka, dahil hindi ka naman talaga mahabagabat or hindi ka talaga empowered living entity. So, nag-chant ka, sinunod mo instruction ng spiritual master, dahil nasa conditional state tayo, influence ng material nature. Pwede ngayon, pleasing ka eh. Pleasing yung buhay mo. Tapos, kung halimbawa, yung tao na to sinusunod mo, sa una, pleasing siya, sinusunod niya lahat yung dapat gawin, at sinusunod mo siya. Pero yung person na to, pag nag-make siya ng decision, hindi na sundin yung utos ng Diyos. Hindi na siya representative. Anong mangyayari sa'yo? Pwede kasi yung isang person, in-appoint, binoto. Previously, pleasing siya kasi nag-disciple siya ni Lord Vyasadeva. Pero ngayon, hindi na siya pleasing. So, kung ang guru mo is someone who is conditioned by material nature, anong mangyayari sa'yo? You'll be at the loss. Kaya, advice sa atin, you only give your life to God, who is a pure loving servant of God. Paano mo malalaman yon? It comes from God Himself. Krishna will be the one to show you His representative. So, tayo naman dito as student ng Bhakti Yoga or yung parampara na gusto natin malaman, you can check immediately kung yung person na to representative ng Supreme Person. Kasi pag narinig nyo sa Lord within the heart, sinabi, this person is the representative of God, mayroon man kayong basis, parang dictionary, kung anong sinasabi niya, anong buhay niya, anong ginagawa niya. At ang pinaka-ano talaga nito, ang pinaka bottom line, he can change and influence individuals to be loving the Supreme Person. Yun ang isang test ng spiritual master. By his association, one comes to the point of experiencing pure devotional service. Yun ang magiging focus niya. He comes to the point wherein he transcends all the material consideration, the influence of material nature. Because he's taught how to control the urge of the mind, to direct it, and the process that yung tinuro sa atin that embraces the core of our heart. You experience in your heart this transcendental happiness. And it's an experience na dapat kayo maka-experience. Kayo dapat maka-experience. So babasahin ko to para malaman natin kung ano yung dapat nating gawin. So yung guidance talaga natin, it's all about the wisdom, the word that comes from Lord Krsna. So yung representative ng Supreme Person, he's the conduit, a medium ba? Kung ano yung pag-ibig na yon, ano yung turo na yon. Hindi siya touch ng three modes of material nature. At yung tinuturo niya is transcendental to this material consideration. Ano yung material consideration ng lahat ng so-called wannabe guru na tinuturo nila, na na-attract lahat? Kaluwasan, di ba? Gusto nila ma-save. Okay? But may kasabihan di ba? As you sow, you shall reap. Kung anong tinanim mo, yun ang anihin mo. Hindi pwedeng taas mo lang yung kamay mo, Alleluia, Amen, maniwala ako, save na ako. Kasi at that time, kagaya nito, yung person na to, si Romar Sansuta, warning to sa lahat ng individuals who want to imitate the guru and mislead people. Alam mo yung mga mislead? Yung iligaw ba? Dahil may material consideration sila. They enjoy followers, they're dependent upon their followers, and they find happiness in manipulating other individuals in this material world. Yung, in short, yung desire nila ba, it's contaminated. It's simply selfishness and their own will. So nakalagay sa Sri Upanishad, the killer of the soul, whoever he may be, will enter into the darkness region of ignorance. So don't ever think na you can cheat people, exploit the children of God. Na akala mo, kaya mo silang lokohin, gamitin, that you will not answer for that. You will experience the wrath of Lord Balaram. Pwede kang atakin sa puso. One time, dati kasi ganito, meron kaming place of worship. May isang person that he hates chanting. You know? Then immediately, heart attack siya, patay, dead ball. Okay. Ginawa talaga niya lahat, mapaalis kami kung saan kami nagchat-chat. Then after a while, he's a great, pag titignan nyo, he's very popular. Okay? Popular, born-again teacher. Pero he hates the chanting of the holy name. Ayaw niya marinig. So nangyari, pinaalis niya yung lahat yung program doon, yung chanting, and what happened, inatake siya sa puso. Meron din mga individuals na ganon, na nabigyan ng opportunity na dapat maging representative ni Lord Balaram, i-pass on yung turo. Pero nangyari, may sarili silang mundo kung ano yung spiritual life. It's based upon their selfish interests. Based upon their tini-wini mind, yung ano nila, yung brain nila, and it's about lordship, control. Okay. Pero sa case kasi nung person na to, si Roma Arsansuta, talagang pinatay siya ni Lord Balaram to save yung mga saintly person. Ang nangyari nun, dalawang bagay. Yung dapat upo sa biyasasan, maging conduit ng transcendental science, kung ano narinig niya sa spiritual master niya, ipapass on niya. As it is. Yun ang para-para. Kagaya ni Narada Muni, na spiritual master ni Sukadev Goswami. Si Maharaj Pariksit umupo for 7 days and for 7 nights listening and hearing Sukadev Goswami, who is the loving servant of Lord Krsna, the disciple of Narada Muni. Okay. He is able to pass on the transcendental science. Pero si Romar Sansuta, nakaupo siya doon, akala ng lahat, holy siya, saintly, nakaupo ka sa mataas na upuan . Pero hindi niya nakita si Lord Balaram. So dapat tignan natin kung ano yung magpapalayo sa atin. Ano yung magpapalayo sa atin kay Lord Krishna? Material consideration. Ano yung material consideration? Gusto natin ng wealth, to enjoy this world, and followers. Lahat yun, magiging balakid sa spiritual life natin. Kasi madadeviate yung puso natin, yung isipan natin. Kaya nung balik ako sa punto ng yung isang pare, lumapit siya kay His Divine Grace, sabi niya, I will join you. Sabi ni His Divine Grace, no, you just add in your life the chanting of the holy names. Ganon din sa lahat ng mamimit nyo. They don't need to leave what they're doing because we're all individuals. All they have to do is chant the holy names of God. Hindi dapat, ay ginagawa nyo, mag-join kayo sa amin dahil mali. Hindi ganon. Let Krishna be in control, the holy names. Because the holy names will be touching the core of their heart. What they're longing, their experience is fulfillment. So yun yung process na sinusunod natin. Kaya yung burden to protect, to help other individuals is simply passing on what did give us in our heart this connection with this transcendental world and transcendental wisdom. So, if you're making progress sa buhay mo, then you will be just passing on. Because you're not dependent upon anybody else. Your only dependence is to follow and be sheltered by the sweetness of rendering service to God. Yun yung mundo mo. So ngayon, ang gagawin lang natin, to all the living entities na ma-meet nyo, masisino, living entities mga puno, mga hayop, mga bulaklak, mga ano dyan, all what we have to do is pass on. Kaya nga yung pinaka-process sa Kali Yuga, wonderful is that all living entities can take advantage. Now, if you're making progress in your practice, sa spiritual practice na to, your heart, your mind will be focused upon the experience of relishing this transcendental happiness within your heart. Then you see the living entities around, all you have to do is facilitate. Tulungan nyo sila mapalapit kay Lord Krishna. Halimbawa, ginagawa nyo, nakita nyo yung mga plants doon, living entities yun May mga bulaklak, hindi man sila makapunta rito. Naririnig nila yung chanting, pero mayroon silang ino-offer. Yung bulaklak na mabango. So kung kukunin niyo yan at ialay niyo kay Krishna, it will be very beneficial. It will be very beneficial for them. Okay? Because you're giving them the opportunity to offer yung fruits na nila. So the devotees, yung mga nagme-make ng progress, yung buhay niya is about caring. Caring for others. Compassion. Hindi control. Hindi manipulation. Kaya we should be very careful whom to follow, and sa warning to all those who want to imitate Romarshan Sutta, because we will experience anyone who tries to mislead ba, ilayo sa mundo na gusto ni Lord Krishna ng pagmamahal ng bawat anak niya, lahat ng living entities. At ginawa mo, nilayo mo sila, hininto mo yung holy names. Gumawa ka ng sarili mo mundo at dala-dala mo na idea mo, pinapakita mo na you're a saint, you're very advanced, devotee ka dahil kasama mo, narinig mo to sa guru at pinoportray mo na holy man ka. Pero ang ginawa mo, hininto mo yung chanting. At ano yung mundo mo? Yung apat na hindi talaga transcendental, mundane. Number 1, economic development, sense gratification, religiosity, and liberation. These are all materialism. Masi ano pang sabi mo, baliktarin mo, materialism pa rin. So ano yung pinaka-process? The holy names. And the holy names, inseparable from the spiritual world. Kaya, nung binigay sa atin yung holy names, ang gagawin lang natin is to receive it, to hear it, and apply it in our lives. Let Krishna do the work to purify us. And also, tayo rin, ganun tayo. We just canvas, tell individuals Either when time comes, you're responsible, meron na kayong pamilya, o kaya nag-work kayo sa isang lugar, all you have to do is pass on the holy names. Live the life of a devotee who's always chanting the holy names. Meaning, the practice na pinalo nyo rito, 9 process of devotional service, gawin nyo na sundin natin at maging kaaya-aya yung relasyon natin sa Supreme Person. And then when time comes, you meet someone, all you have to do is befriend him, kaibigan ninyo, at kung na-interested siya sa ginagawa nyo, just give him what you have been given, the holy names of Krishna. Okay? With an intent in your heart that, Krishna, please take care of this person. Okay? So, wala kang load. Makita niyo yung load ng mga so-called wannabe God o wannabe guru, mabigat. They have to portray that they're perfect. And imagine, because you're not self-sufficient, you're not all-powerful, everything will go out of control. And ang focus natin is about this material world, then you never started. You're already lost. Talo ka na. Nasa mundo ka ng kadiliman. So ito yung dapat natin maintindihan. Bakit tayo nag-chant? Bakit tayo nag-engage sa purificatory process wherein when we are working very hard to be in harmony with this science in practice? Bakit? Kasi ito yung reason. That very ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme is today told by me to you because you are my devotee as well as my friend. Therefore, you can understand the transcendental mystery of this science. So, kailangan maging kaibigan natin ang Supreme Person. So, when we make progress, darating tayo sa punto ng third prayer ni Lord Chaitanya. Yun na yung buhay mo. Ano yun? One can chant the holy names of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking himself lower than the straw in the street, more tolerant than the tree, and devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respects to others. Ano yung false prestige? You think you're very high, you're pure, you're a saintly person, and then you can tell other people to do what is your bidding, kung anong gusto mo. Hindi ganun yun. Ano yung respect? You're able to see the spirit soul. And each individual sa buhay nila does have a relationship with the Supreme Person. You don't interfere. All you have to do is pass on what you have been given. It is up to him to make effort to walk on his own to relate to the Supreme Person. So these so-called wannabe gurus, they interfere with your relationship with God. And it is shown now. It's happening before and history repeats itself. Okay. These individuals are into control. Okay. Because what they portray is that an entitlement that they think that they're the chosen one. They're the best. Completely contradictory to the third prayer of Lord Chaitanya, the consciousness of the devotee. And the work that one does engage in sa buhay niya is about a relationship wherein you're simply in humility praying to be engaged and be connected with the pleasure of God. Okay, whatever you do, it can be a connection of closeness when you offer it with love and devotion without expecting anything in return. Ano yung fruitive worker? Ano yung fruitive worker? someone who wants to enjoy the fruits. So individuals can be chanting the holy names and then they portray themselves as very advanced or saintly person, and they want the fruits of portraying it in such a way to get followers. And their shelter are the followers. Okay? And ano yung consciousness sila? It's about lordship. Sa mundo na to, huwag na kayong magtaka na ba't ganito to mundo? Because this place is where all the wannabe Lord goes. Tayo. Okay? Kaya warning, you want to be the enjoyer? There's billion of us here. Kaya magtatapakan tayo. Intindihan nyo? And yun ang problema. Kaya ko sinasabi to sa inyo, dahil ito talaga yung situation natin lahat. Ito yung sabi ni Lord Krsna. If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacle of conditional life by my grace. Ano yung conditional life? Influence of the three modes of material nature, because we are disconnected from experiencing this pure unalloyed devotional service. We are servants of the mind, the desire, and influenced by the modes. We are now under the control of material nature, illusion or maya. If, however, you do not work in such consciousness, but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. Ano yung false ego? When you think you are independent, you're self-sufficient. Inisip mo, kaya ko to? Pero hindi mo ba nakikita, nag-struggle ka for survival? At yung survival na in-expect mo is to maintain this body. And you know, somewhere along the line, iwan mo yung katawan din. You know, when I was at your age, Srila Prabhupada, kinausap kami na Srila Prabhupada. Sabi niya, Bhagavandas, are you afraid to die? During that time, I was so young physically, okay? Saka yung hindi ko talaga ganun na. Akala ko, inisip ko, ba't ako matatakot mamatay? Well off yung parents ko, dami namin pera, pagkain. Hindi ko naisip, hindi pala yun. When you understand, realize your eternality through the wisdom given by Lord Krsna and complete dependence upon the Lord, then you will be in this transcendental state wherein you're not afraid to die because you will not die. You're not afraid that you'll get hungry or whatsoever, because the spirit soul is a different energy from matter. Okay? Saka hindi lang yun. Complete dependence upon the Supreme Person. Kaya, to surrender to God in reality sa buhay natin, yung accepting a bona fide spiritual master is a very serious, grave decision. Bakit? Because at that point, you are surrendering to the person who's representing God. Okay? And what if he asks you something? Okay? If he tells you, why don't you die now? Will you do it? Sabihin sa inyo, okay. Sabihin sa inyo ba? Sabihin sa inyo, okay, why don't you follow me? Leave everything behind. What? Leave my beautiful wife? Leave my wealth? Okay? So, you are given this opportunity to have this clarity, this transcendental understanding that everything belongs to God. He's the supreme controller. And He's the only shelter. I was, are you afraid to die? Because everybody is afraid to die. So, it dawned upon me now when I went out preaching, Kasi during that time, I was alone in giving meditation. Then, you have to completely depend upon the Supreme Person. And then with the wisdom and understanding that you are eternal and completely dependent upon the Supreme Person, you can now fall down and beg Lord Krishna, pray, please protect me. I realized what I've said before was really completely out of touch with, I said, he asked him, Bhagavandas, are you afraid to die? Because we will be going out to preach, okay? And you go out to preach, you don't depend on anyone. You just go out, okay? And we are brahmacharis, like you. I have a friend, Japadas, okay? We are very close. And said, I'll go with him. And Srila Prabhupada, sabi niya, don't go together because you'll just be depending upon one another. Magdidepend kayo sa isa't isa. You go alone. So we part ways. And when you're there, you begin to come to the point wherein yung akala mo trial, experience mo, yung austerity mo, you'll be put in a situation to be dependent upon Lord Krishna. And at the time you make the decision, please Krishna, protect me, then it's a different world from the world na nakondisyon kayo. Kaya in devotee, like look at, you'll be entering a transcendental world. And that is what Lord Chaitanya is giving us, the chanting of the holy names. The spiritual world descends. And you, the person, will be connected with this transcendental world. And to be able to come to that point, you must become a real devotee of Lord Krishna. And it takes practice and following the path and direction that is being given to us by our Gurudev. Just like Lord Chaitanya showed. So, when Lord Chaitanya prayed, oh my Lord, I have no desire to have material wealth. It's all connected to the maintenance of this body. Okay? So, I have no desire to enjoy beautiful women. It's about enjoying this material world and being dependent upon other living entities for your happiness. And to have number of followers of mine, he's not interested with followers. Anyway, they're gonna die. And you're gonna leave them anyway. His only interest is pure devotional service. So, there is a story in the Bible wherein it's about how peaked you are in your devotion with the Supreme Person. So, there's this story sa Bible, yung si Jesus natutulog. Okay? Natutulog si Jesus, tatawid sila sa Sea of Galilee yata yun. Okay? So, malakas yung alon, may bagyo, lahat ng disciple natakot. Mamamatay tayo rito kasi lakas ng alon eh. Tapos sabi niya, gisingin mo si Master. Okay? Gisingin mo si Master. Tabang. Tulog. So, ginising na si Jesus Christ. So, help, save us. Tinaas lang ni Jesus yung kamay niya at kumalma yung bagyo. Hindi lang din yun. Pagdating sa laot, yung pier, malalim eh, hindi makakaano kaagad yung ano. So si Jesus, naglakad sa tubig. Lahat na shock, ba't nakakalakad siya sa tubig? Tapos yung isang disciple, sinubukan niyang, yung isang follower niya, sinubukan niyang tawirin din yon. Lumubog siya. Tapos lahat worried eh. Jesus, paano tayo mabubuhay? Kaya sabi niya, look at the lilies in the field. How beautiful they are. Look at the birds, the fowl in the sky. They're just, flying around. Who takes care of them? Sabi niya, what more of you who is supposedly rendering service to the Supreme Person? Sabi niya, if you have only this small, if your faith, you have this faith, even as small as a mustard seed, then you succeed. Alam yung mustard seed? Mustasa ba? Parang pechay? Yung buto na maliit ba? Kung meron kang ganong faith sa puso mo, that Krishna will protect you He's the supreme provider. Ang provide ni Lord Krishna, hindi lang yung pagkain para sa katawan mo, kasi nandyan na yan eh. It's already there. Yung air, yung water, yung material nature, nandyan na yan. Arrange na talaga yan for our body's maintenance. Pero ang importante is the food of what we really are longing for. The embrace from the core of our heart in meditation of complete surrender to the Supreme Person. Yun yung dapat natin ma-achieve, to become real devotees, loving servant of the Supreme Person. So hindi nyo kailangan iwan yung ginagawa nyo. Kung ginagawa nyo, teacher kayo, businessman kayo, all what you have to do is follow the process of the chanting of the holy names. Because Lord Krishna, Lord Balaram will be touching your heart. So sa case ni Romar Sansuta, dahil wala siya sa mundo na ngayon at nagsasalita, nandun siya enjoying yung mga followers na hindi naman niya estudyante. Lahat yun may spiritual master eh. Yun ang mahirap. Yung spiritual master, he goes out and he does not interfere with the relationship ng mga iba-ibang individuals who have spiritual master. Hindi siya nag-interfere. Pero sa case na to, nagkaroon sila ng parang convention para marinig ang glories ng Supreme Person, to be very fixed. At nakalagay doon, after hearing from the son of this Romar Sansuta, who is empowered by Lord Balaram, they all went back to the spiritual world. Yun yung power ng holy names, ng glories ng Supreme Person. So ngayon, yung power ng holy names, it's now here through the holy names of God Himself, non-different from Krishna. So dapat dun tayo ma-focus. And yung fruits nun is that we will experience the embrace of Lord Balaram, Lord Krishna, through the core of our heart. Is it clear? So dapat check yun. Kaya it's a continual process. Yung spiritual life, it's an eternal process of experiencing the sweetness of rendering loving service to the Supreme Person. The more you make progress, the more you want to embrace it, the more you want to be very close to it. And the downside naman kung hindi ka sumusunod is that nasa mundo ka ng kadiliman. You're not experiencing yung mundo na yan, ng happiness na yan. Nandito ka sa mundo ng miserable world. Kasi kailangan mo ng sense gratification, economic development, religiosity, and liberation. Wala ka dun. Wala ka sa pagmamahal sa Supreme Person. Kaya how to achieve that? Harinama. Chanting the holy names. Okay? So we'll continue this study program because this program is an eternal program of the spirit soul. Not here lang, okay? Pwedeng umalis na kayo sa katawan, but it will continue wherever you are. Okay? So, ang ano rito, don't expect for graduation. Exempted kayo dapat lahat. Kasi, lagi nila sinasabi, namatay si ganito. Nag-graduate ba siya? Hindi na kailangan mag-graduate. Okay? Exempted ka dapat. Chant the holy names.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa Siddhaswarupaya, Radha Krishna Krsna Yakti.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa
Krishna Nayanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya.
Raja Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shiva Sadego Patavringa.
Raja Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shiva Sadego Patavringa.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Madana Mohana,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Bol Krishna,
Madana Mohana,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Hari Bol Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol Nitai Gaur.
Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Madana Mohana. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Madana Mohana,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Madana Mohana,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana. Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Madana Mohana,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana. Hari Bol.
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev,
Krishna,
Jaya Jaya Gauranga,
Krishna,
Jaya Jaya Gurudev,
Hari Bol Krishna,
Jaya Jaya Gauranga. Jaya Jaya Shri Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Shri Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa, Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa. Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Namo.